Welcome to the Back to Me podcast, where we help multicultural incoming freshman women and men manage their entire college experience throughout post-graduation to successfully transition into entrepreneurship and corporate workspaces as new hires.
Back to me. Oh, I turned it around. I'm back to me. I finally figured it out. I'm back to me. So when you think you have nothing, back to me. I go back to me. Yeah, I'm back to me.
Hello, everyone. It's your host, Yoli Tamu. We're wrapping up our Honor Your Gifts and Say Yes series with a powerful conversation on turning vision into real opportunities for students. Dr. William Syms, Vice President of Student Services, Enrollment Management, and Equity Initiatives at West LA College, shares how his journey has shaped his passion for advocacy and college access. He unpacks a bold Vision 2030 plan for students and explains how guaranteed admission in the Los Angeles Community College District helps remove application barriers, and why helping students find their identity at West LA College is central to building authentic relationships for their future. Discover how to connect your dreams to real pathways, as this episode invites you to say yes to your next step at West LA College. Spring classes begin in 2 weeks, February 9th. Enjoy. We have made it to 2026. Thank God. And I'm so grateful because this is a time when we are coming together and really doing our best to reach out to a lot of the colleges, and so grateful to have met this person on LinkedIn. He is Dr. William Syms, the Vice President of Student Services and Enrollment Management and Equity Initiatives at West LA College. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
You're good. You're good. All right. Fantastic. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for taking the time to do this. So on this podcast, we serve these incoming college freshmen, and I was checking you out on LinkedIn that you were a former director of TRIO at PCC.
I am.
Cool as that. So you are thoroughly entrenched with students and helping them succeed. So I love this, and I'm so honored to have you. So before we start, we always get into motivations. And so I want to get a good idea as to why you chose higher education and took this path. What led you here?
So I spent the beginning of my career working in electoral politics. I was a staff member for now Senator Adam Schiff, and I sort of cut my teeth learning to do work in the community, be a fierce advocate, work with appropriations, help organizations connect to federal opportunity. And that work took me to the NAACP's national office, as well as Amnesty International's domestic campaigns team. And so all of these experiences sort of culminated in me coming back to California, work on death penalty abolition work, and then ultimately go back to work to support multiple candidates in the 2016 presidential election. We lost. And in 2016, I had done some consulting in education, but I found myself at this crossroads and trying to figure out where my passion really could be synced with my experience. And young students of color, came very clearly to me that was a place that I could increase advocacy, specifically by increasing access to college. College is the thing that saved my life. Quite literally, having gone to Pasadena City College and then transferring to Clark Atlanta University. When I got to the AUC, I had been equipped by community colleges to lead, to be a thought leader, as well as advocate for students on my campus. And I came alive in this setting where Black student and Black life was valued. And so in 2016, I got the chance to join the student life team at Pasadena City College and go back to USC to do my doctorate. And so I dove in and very quickly started to grow my career in education. And over the last 10 years, have gone from hourly employee to vice president of a college. And so I think it really is just a testament to this work is not a job to me. It is my life's mission. It is my call. And selfishly, I have a 5-year-old and an 8-year-old. And I really just do this work because they're going to be at a college campus, hopefully soon, right? With dual enrollment and concurrent enrollment. And so my job is to create as much as I can to make sure that they have access and that they can live the lives they want and dream the dreams they dream in real life.
Well, your students are very fortunate. I mean, for you to have walked the walk, you've taken the path already. And you said that you came from a community college and you went into a 4 year. So you can actually give them that tangible experience. And that lines up with the California Community College Initiative with the HBCU transfer. How cool is that?
It's amazing. And, with the retirement of Dr. Helen Young this year, or the pivot, it's not really retirement, but the work that Dr. Young and her team have created over the last few years has really exploded. And so my dream really is to partner and continue to grow that and bring access to HBCUs here in California by embedding a historically Black college at a California community college. And so that is the work. It is selfish work, right? It's just me living out my undergraduate dreams here as a professional. And so I'm grateful to the California Community College system, as well as it aligns with the Vision 30 plan to increase access, to create equity in access, and then ensure that students are finding college at a younger age.
Mm-hmm. Were you a part of that initiative, or was that just like, wow, it just lined right up and synced up with who you were? Were you a part of that HBCU transfer?
I've worked tangentially with that team and have been blessed really to be mentored and grown by the folks immersed in that work. And then alignment came because I was working to create an HBCU hub at Pasadena City College before I left. And we were about to sign an MOU with Clark Atlanta, and then I transitioned to Sierra College. But certainly am back on the path to reestablish that here at West LA College, and looking forward to, as we build housing on campus, as well as a new building, a new student services and library building, to be able to embed in some of those existing spaces, HBCU partner.
Mm-hmm. That's fantastic. So now you said you have been, I guess, having a calling for working for students of color. And when you think about HBCUs, are you pushing for all students to consider HBCUs, or particularly students of color to consider HBCUs?
I think we see the research specifically shows that HBCUs benefit every student. And it really is, when you talk about sense of belonging and social cultural capital, Yoso's theory of social cultural capital, really, HBCUs have lived that, right? HBCUs have immersed themselves in that practice of creating a space that feels like home and ensuring that students feel valued. And so all of those practices are what we are adopting in other language, right? Couched in other language, but really just the practice of increasing sense of belonging that Tinto talks about has been the methodology and modality of an HBCU. And so I think whether you're an African-American student, a Latinx student, a white student, otherwise, the HBCU experience is special. I think the marriage of both California community colleges and HBCUs has the ability to increase the success of all students, specifically because we know over social movements and other things, as the Black community benefits, all communities have better outcomes. And so I think historically we see that this is a movement that is interlinked. And as allies, we have to be strategic in the way that we partner.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. So when we think about this guaranteed transfer, which is pretty cool, you're working with students and we talk about some of their concerns that they're dealing with now. And I'm sure a lot of students probably have similar concerns, but in a community college environment where there is a guarantee of sorts, you know what I mean? You can walk them in. What are some of their concerns? What's top of mind for some of the students?
Housing is the first. Food insecurity, housing, and then support, right? I think those are probably the trifecta of issues that impact our students. Because if you're hungry, it's hard to study. If you don't have a place to lay your head, it's hard to even think about coming here. And if you don't have a job, how do you sustain yourself? And so I think we as community colleges and institutions of higher education in general have to think about how we provide better connections between employment opportunity and job training that leads to living wage while folks are being students with us. You don't stop being a human. Your life doesn't pause because you decided to expand your education. And so education has to evolve in a way that makes it competitive, because the value or the value proposition has to be that this is going to change the trajectory of your life, and you have to tangibly be able to touch that. And so by embedding CTE programs or programs that provide funding for a living wage for students who are pursuing training is the future. And whether that is pre-law, pre-med, or advancements in AI technology, all of those programs have to be able to provide sustainable wages to students and provide housing so that students can persist and succeed. we want to reduce the time to completion. We also want to make sure that we are creating the most sustainable education that we can. And by increasing housing, making sure students have access to food, and then providing jobs for students, we're going to really be able to accomplish that in the short term.
Would you say that you get quicker to the career pathway sooner in community college environments because of these types of things? Like, we got to narrow it down. What do you want to do?
At West LA, we have a great example of that. We have 2 bachelor degree programs in aviation as well as dental hygiene. And so our students are able to earn micro credentials all along the way, find employment, and sustain themselves while they're in the program. Now, when they finish, they get jobs that pay somewhere in the neighborhood of about $80,000. And so those are great examples of how you can create that model. The piece that we're missing really is the housing. And I was encouraged today to find out that we are on track to be able to develop housing in the coming years. And so I think that really is an example of what you want to do. We can give you an associate's degree, give you a bachelor's degree, and in the coming years, we'll be able to give you a place to stay while you do both and then go to work. And so I think that's the model of the future. And places like Clark Atlanta, Spelman, Morehouse, Howard, FAMU do that already. And so we're really borrowing lessons from them in how we expand these programs and then how we grow what we do.
Fantastic. And when you say housing, we're talking about apartments. We're not talking about dormitories.
So there's a mix. We think about building units that are somewhere between 500 and 800 units. And so in those 500 to 800 units, you have this mix of family housing, single apartment styles, and then also dormitory styles. And so you separate them by floors and sides of the building. But with the 500 to 800 unit building, you have the opportunity to create mixed use and various types of housing that facilitate the spectrum of learners that we serve.
Fantastic. Now, I talked about earlier how you're a former director of the TRIO program at PCC and how you really are connected to students in the beginning stages, as early as high school. So I'm thinking about, you and I talked briefly about value propositions for students of the future. Was that something you were thinking about then, or is it more relevant now in the community college space?
I think before I even became a TRIO director, it's something that's guided my life. I went to college for the first time at 12, and I graduated from high school at 16. And so what I understood was by accessing college as an adolescent meant that as I proceeded through college, I had a shorter time to completion. Now, for me, I needed to grow up a little bit. So yeah, I took a little more time because, as you can imagine, graduating from college as a 20-year-old, you might not be the most mature. So I took a little more time this season. But what I can tell you is that if we can help provide access to this education earlier, you'll see high school completion continue to rise. You'll see college completion skyrocket. And you'll find, and our students will find, that their access to sustainable living and sustainable wages will come almost immediately after they graduate from college. Now, we don't control the external market factors and economic downturn, but what we can do is prepare people to be out-of-the-box thinkers that are entrepreneurial and can navigate the tough times that the country faces. And so I think it's important because what education taught me was the ability to think on my feet and sort of adapt. And I think that adaptability is a character trait and a training that is like no other, because whatever I encounter, I'm able to sort of balance and do the dance that allows me to find a way through. It's not perfect. There are ups and downs, but I think that type of access to education very early makes our folks 3-dimensional thinkers in ways that provide support and help them find careers they may not have access to without it.
This is so good because we're in this January series and we're focusing on choosing yourself first. And so it sounds like as a vice president, your focus is that student, what their needs are, and getting them jobs and all of that. And I really think that is going to improve the student body decline because you and I talked about that. So how are you getting the word out so people know that community college is a cool thing? You need to get with the program.
So I think it's a brand new year and we've done some great things. One of the awesome things that Los Angeles Community College District has done is this guaranteed admission. And so now you won't even have to apply. Students will start to get acceptance letters from Los Angeles Community College District colleges saying, welcome to the college in your closest proximity. And so what we're doing is removing the barrier of application. And by creating more partnerships like this, it gets the word out. We are the largest community college district in the world, and LAUSD is one of the largest school districts in the world. And so by partnering with such a behemoth, we are able to share this information And then when you talk about students who may be coming back and other things, we have a great, great marketing team here led by Michelle Longcoffee. And we've done all the things that you have to do, whether it's geofencing ads in proximity to the college, participating in things like the Vision 2030 Symposia that just happened a couple of weeks ago, or being able to go out, sending our outreach team to high schools. TRIO is a big part of that because TRIO is the best advertising. While we're not advertising our college specifically, we are engaging folks. And the way we practice college application is by helping them complete their own. And so we really immerse ourselves in community. And I think the best marketing is being present. So being a member of this community, talking to people regularly, and then ensuring that West shows up and shows out everywhere we go, like we did at the last HBCU caravan meeting, where all of our West students were decked out in their Kente West sweaters, because we want to make sure that folks can find their community here. And so we've really done a lot around cultural identity and ensuring that folks are supported, as we do that with our Latinx students, our queer students, as well as our veterans and other communities. And so we continue to grow those things and build authentic relationship that allows us to be the first choice of our students.
I love this. I'm really excited about the CCC initiative and this HBCU guarantee, because you don't know what it feels like to be at an HBCU until you're there. And so for you to merge this and create that family experience from their mentors and professors and teachers is everything, You're making it easier for them. So congratulations to everything you guys are doing. This is fantastic. So we always wrap up with these final words of encouragement. And I'm just thinking about that student, because, we serve that incoming college freshman that you're quite familiar with. And then, the student that's also post-grad, heading out into the workforce and all of that. So encouragement for that student that's considering whether college is really for them or choosing a vocational setting, which in some ways is what you offer as well, right?
So I would say you can find all those things at a West LA college, because we are the place that helps you connect to your dreams. And this is just a starting point. And so what we want to do is be the launch pad to the life that you dreamed of. So I welcome any student that wants to do it. My word of encouragement is just to do it, because you have to start. I think sometimes we get caught up in trying to figure things out, and sometimes we just have to go. And as you go, it gets easier and easier and easier. And we're here to be partners. So if anybody has a question, I'm happy to reach out or connect with them, because we want to be their partners and walk them across the bridge to their dream.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Well, everybody that's listening, I hope you've been paying attention. So now if they want to get in contact with you, where should we send them? To your LinkedIn, maybe a website?
So you can go to WLAC.edu. You can find me on LinkedIn at Dr. William Syms, or you can email me at symsw@wlac.edu.
All right. There's no excuse. You got the direct email. There's no excuse.
Let me know. I'm here to help.
I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. And I think that 2026 is going to be powerful. What do you say?
I will say it's going to be a year. We're going to do whatever we got to do to get through. 2025 was an interesting year. And so I'm not here to make any declarations about any year other than I'm glad to be a partner in whatever you want to do. And whatever the year throws at us, we'll make it through.
I love it. Okay. Well, thank you for your time. I really appreciate you being with us. All right. You take care of yourself.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. So if you're contemplating attending college, take advantage of LACCD's free admission now. For more information about other episodes, remember to subscribe to the Back to Me podcast, College and Beyond. I'm your host, Yoli Tamu. Leave a review at the end of this podcast. And if you would like to learn more about other special events, join our community on our YouTube channel at the Back to Me podcast, or simply text Back to Me to 833-206-4565. Until next time, be well.